How do we capture multiple exceptions without producing some pretty ugly code? With the introduction of exception filters in C Sharp 6, it's actually really elegant now. So let me show you. The standard approach is to use multiple catch blocks. Here in this example, we have a try section which simulates some sort of operation that's going to throw an exception. And then we have three catch blocks, one for each type that I care about. The downside, as we can see here, is we have the same cleanup code repeated in multiple places. Now, in this case, the success equals false cleanup code is very, very simple. Yours may be much more complicated. So this is quite ugly and inefficient. The alternative is to use a single catch block. We end up catching the base class exception so that we come in here for every type of exception thrown. And then we use an if statement to decide, do we need to perform cleanup? This code will work, and it looks a little bit cleaner because we only have a single catch block, but it does have one major gotcha. If we don't care about the exception thrown, then we fall through to the else, and we rethrow the exception. This is a bad idea because it causes the stack to be unwound, even though we don't actually want to catch it. If you're debugging and you've set up uncaught exceptions to break, this is the line it will break on the throw. In reality, you wanted it to actually break in your code, somewhere in here where the exception was originally thrown. So the downside of this approach is it won't actually break in the correct location, making it just a little bit harder to debug your issues in code. To solve this problem, we're going to use the new C Sharp 6 feature, which is exception filtering. You can see in place here, we've added a when clause. This produces a Boolean, which in this case will be true if any of these three exceptions that we care about are thrown, and allow us to only enter the catch block specifically for the three exceptions we care about, not for any other exception. And this gets rid of the issue of unwinding the stack when we don't really want to. This code, as we can see, is much cleaner, shorter, and more succinct. Another advantage of exception filters is the ability to have more complicated expressions. Here's an example where I'm making a HTTP request to the internet. If it throws an exception, maybe I only care about a 404, status code not found. So here we have a more complicated expression. We're checking the status code has a value and is it equal to 404, not found, in which case I'm going to do some extra processing. This allows you to have some pretty complicated logic, which is very specific and meets exactly your needs. Hopefully this was useful. If so, hit the like button so that others can find this same answer. Until next time, keep on trucking.